Hello, Warriors. Everyone ready? Good morning, Mike. How are you? Bran? Bran, I suggest Brothers in Arms by Mark Knopfler. Hi, Shahab, Sinatra. Same to you, AJ. So we have the Consumer Pleasure Index today. Hope everyone's ready for it. Are you, Ryan?
The Chocolate Pants Index. Yeah, all ready for it.
All right. So, yeah, you bring up Valentine's Day. So my Valentine's Day hope for everyone is that love finds you this year. And just like trading, don't chase it. Let it come to you. All right. So getting a little dollar weakness here. Market's probably front running a decent number. Is that the feel that you guys have?
Just
a benign number? Huh?
Just positioning, I think. Just, markets like sharks, if they can't keep still, they have to keep swimming around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this could be in cable between here and 2.5, like just an ABC, and then we get another, what was this, about 500 pips from here to here.
Yeah,
so from
that's
here
bang in the middle of the recent range, isn't it? 120, 124.
Yeah. And 500 from there gets you just a shade under these lows, maybe 117-ish.
Yeah.
That's the way that looks to me. Aussie's even weaker. So cable's taking out this high. No, this high. Okay. Aussie hasn't done it yet. Aussie, I think, could be a decent short on a benign number, maybe, 70-20 to a half, and you risk the highs. That's if you have a taste for and you have a belief that what happened last week in the dollar has at least one more leg in it. So also a very good short by Blake. He called it out live in here yesterday. Gold broke another $8-10, I believe, from when he called it at the close of the show. Who caught it? Anyone coattail Blake's call? No one would give him a trading idea, and he certainly had a good one today.
No, I gave him a trading idea, didn't I? I talked about dollar mix. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So don't lump me with everybody else. I'm kidding. I usually say I have no idea. Morning, everybody.
Hey, Stel.
So right. it's been from what I can see and read, there are two camps. One camp is saying, oh, it's going to be really high number today because inflation's here to stay, and the other camp is well, it's actually going to miss, like I say. So I'm either going to hand in my resignation today, or I'm going to be right.
Stelios, and good morning, guys. It does feel like the market is leaning into that idea today.
Yeah.
Positioning or not, it just, you got stocks
S&Ps.
stronger, dollars weaker going into today's data. So maybe Stelios knows something that no one else knows.
I think it's connected, man.
Theoretically, it's just mathematics. But yeah, then again, you never know with a number because A, they release it, and B, they release it and they can make it be whatever they want it to be. I know I'm cynical, but
Well, if that happens, that's going to be make or break for yields. We'll see if the breakout holds. I drew the line you showed yesterday. So we'll see.
Yes.
That's going to be an important area. So who else, who like the market is leaning into the number prior to the number? Anyone? Yeah, nope. I understand why. Okay.
No, we got to stand aside, man. This is not the time to be standing in front of the markets. This is a reactionary market. I believe that today you have a lot of opportunities from today to the next couple of days to play out whatever the market delivers us today. I want to ask you guys this though. What is the most important piece of the CPI data that you're looking at going into this release? Are you, Ryan, I know you guys have probably talked about this on the Flow show in the European hours. But what are you looking at the headline number? Are you looking at core? You looking what number are you guys looking at today?
All of it. You've got to take it all into consideration. You know, you look at the headline, see what the headline does. If there's no big variation, you look at what the core does. Or if the core moves up and the headline moves down, or vice versa, or they both go the same way, you've got to add them together and make a decision on that. And I think that's the key going into today's numbers.
You know, I've heard everybody talk about wanting to watch the CPI or the core number today, you know, stripping out food and energy. And it's like, why? Why? I mean,
those are not important.
You don't eat, do you?
Yeah,
I know.
you don't need food and energy.
I mean, you know, forget the fact that we're Dale. How much are eggs here? I mean, we're like spending $7-8 a carton of eggs. No, it doesn't matter. That's really not going to affect anything. Factor out real estate. It doesn't really matter because, housing prices have gone skyrocketing, and it might be easing a little bit, but rents are still high. I mean, that doesn't really matter. Let's get rid of that. So anyway, I don't know, just crazy stuff. But let me ask you guys, let's go. I'm going to go around the horn. Dale, do you mind if I take the charts here?
No, not at all, bud.
Okay. So, because today is such a busy day and we've got so much, coming out, we're obviously we're going to be, focused on, the release today. We're seeing some dollar weakness come through the market. So, and we've kind of come to the conclusion that, we're seeing a little bit of, position squaring. Maybe people leaning into the number, but I want to ask what everybody's best idea is for today. What is the currency, the market, the asset class that you're going to trade, and why, and where are the levels that you're looking at? So let's start with Ryan. Let's start with you, since you guys have been up for a while. You Europeans, I call you Brits, Europeans. How do you feel about that, by the way?
Yeah, we voted out, mate.
Is that offensive to you?
I wasn't European when we were in. Didn't get all the way.
All right. So what are you looking at to trade today? I know you just had the UK trade off with Mr. Michael Brown. You had some ideas there. What are you going to lean into today?
Dollar yen's going to be my go-to trade, as well as managing my other positions that I've got on. I want to see if we get a move to the ranges. We've got a nice level here, 133. That's 132.80, 90 into 133 is a level we've been watching for a while. Decent double top there. Maybe a poke up to 134s might be a bit juicy. Conversely, on the downside, 129 probably a bit too far. So that would be my choice area. Maybe 130 is worth keeping an eye on as well. So just looking at the range edges and seeing if we're going to get any breaks, or if the decent levels are going to hold. But I explained on the flow show, you want to score your levels. So if you've got 4 or 5 levels above, 4 or 5 levels before, rate them as the ones you would strongestly like to trade, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so there was some headlines out overnight regarding a BOJ nomination. I didn't even catch the name, because it's like I got to sit here and kind of read through the names and what their monetary policy expectations might be. But what was with that headline overnight?
Yeah, it's just confirmation of Ueda. That was the guy who got dropped last week as a bit of a bombshell, and really the market didn't do anything. I was expecting maybe a bit more of a move on the confirmation. But it didn't do anything. But the dollar yen's drifted lower, maybe in response to yields. But I think perhaps maybe the market got a little too over dovish with this guy, because he did come out and say, last week when they interviewed him, Bank of Japan policy is currently that's what they should be doing, easing, and the market thought we might be Kuroda Mark II. But then the question I've got is, why would Kishida want a like-for-like replacement for all these guys if they may be on the verge of getting inflation, getting wages higher, finally coming out of the rut they've been in?
Okay. Well, I think anything's going to be different than Kuroda, right? So, and who probably has more to say about that is probably K-Man. K-Man, are you back? And are the workers outside of your house finally finished with heating up the street?
Hey guys, hey everybody. No, I'm here, but the workers was only half the issue. I'm not feeling 100% a bit dizziness and stuff, but apparently it's gonna wave over as it came. That's what the doctor said, at least. No, I'm with Ryan. I think dollar yen should be could be one of the main movers, and then there's another interesting one, because over the past 2 days, really, sterling has had some wind in its sails, and been reading some investment groups. It's not huge, but investing in Vodafone or so, and then this morning the labor report wasn't too bad. So if it warrants the CPI warrant the lower dollar, cable could be a little explosive on this one as well. Besides the dollar yen, since dollar yen is just a fast mover, and then for the rest, I think it's going to be, well, first of all, yields, and then perhaps a little bit of risk on or risk off. If it's risk on, I could see stuff like MEX doing well again, and well, perhaps not so much in dollars, but I'm waiting for a little bounce, perhaps in crosses versus MEX to get back into longer MEX positions. Yeah, that's going to probably be my 2 or 3 main areas of focus.
So what do you think with the sterling here? I mean, do you think it's a good short up at the 122.60, or are you going to be playing it, directly like on the short side, just looking to play cable short?
Nah, the 122.60 is the level, but if it warrants to be short dollars, I think cable could be a little explosive there if it breaks through. So because we've seen sterling do pretty well, and if you look at sterling yen, for instance, sterling yen is on a resistance right here, 160-130, and I was thinking, like, if risk would do well, this thing could well break. So yeah, you've got it a little bit higher, but if you draw a line from those highs and then over the next highs, it's coming in right here, really. But that line is not horizontal. But it's right here in my opinion. So 160-130 around there.
Yeah.
So
okay, so maybe take a look at some cable. I know over Ryan, you guys were talking about the big double top in the sterling. And I mentioned that during the week ahead video as well. We have big double top up here, and this is big, just a range. It's a range until it's not. You got to break out of this range, and then once you break out of the range, you can probably name it all sorts of different things. But the cable's got it's getting a little goose today. Is there any reason why the sterling's so strong this morning? Anything that you guys have seen?
Well, the jobs report this morning was fairly decent. Wages up on the ex-bonus component to quite high levels, though over here the glass is always half empty, and once you take inflation into account, there's still another drop in real earnings. But the jobs numbers looking a bit solid, looking a lot like the US. Nothing untoward happening there, and that's probably given a bit of support to the pound. But otherwise, I think it's purely just a bit of position on the dollar.
Got it. Okay. Sounds good. And K-Man, by the way, hope you feel better. It's nice to hear your voice, and I know feeling good is half the battle, especially when you're trading. You always want to be like feeling good, especially during events like this. So I feel for you right now.
that's okay. Thank you.
Steve, is Steve here?
No.
Scuba Steve is around. Steve, what's going on in your world, and what is your best idea today going into this data? I mean, what should we be focused on?
Nothing has changed since the previous few days. I still believe that inflation not going down is going to be the bigger market mover than the opposite, unless, of course, the number comes like a lot lower. And I also still believe that there is a very high probability that the dollar is not done moving higher. So perhaps a pullback in the dollar might be a good buying opportunity in the short term.
Yeah, and remember, we are developing a bull flag pattern in the dollar index. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the dollar here in a second, but this move lower today in the dollar index is just bringing us down towards the lower end of the flag, which could be a great buying opportunity according to Steve, which I don't disagree with today. There's going to be a lot of opportunities in the dollar index and in dollar trades following the CPI data for sure. Stelios, what is your best idea going into today?
Okay, so on a weak number, so low inflation, I want to be selling dollar MEX. I've said that yesterday. We are close to the abyss if we drop below that technical level, and you also get nice positive carry being short. So that I really like. The question is, if it's a weak number, what kind of entry level can you get? Because I think it's going to gap pretty quickly. So on a weak number, I want to be selling dollar MEX. On a strong number, and by the way, I agree with Steve. I think that if the number is stronger than expected, the move is going to be more pronounced than the other way around. On a strong number, I want to do the obvious trade, which everybody's talking about, which is to short stocks. And I'm scared of doing a trade that a lot of people are talking about. But the S&P is getting close to those 4,200 highs, so at least you know where you're wrong. And yeah. So that's what I want to do.
So do you sell the S&P, or do you sell some higher beta, like maybe like the Nasdaq,
Bitcoin,
or maybe freaking Bitcoin? Yeah,
Bitcoin is another one. Yeah,
let's sell some Ethereum. Now we're talking, baby. Ethereum was paused on this 38% retracement coming out of a channel. Bitcoin's also been a weak sister as well. I think you want to short high beta.
You're right. Bitcoin. I mean, look at this consolidation. I mean, move from the highs from 24K to 21 and a bit, and now consolidating. So
right.
Yes,
hey,
if
guys.
this goes. Hey, Gregor.
Hey, Gregor.
Oh, shit,
Hey,
he is here.
you also have
Gregor. How's it going? Just kidding.
I'm a bit
Gregor
late.
Horvat, how are you today? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm a bit late. I just had to buy flowers. Otherwise, I would not be allowed to be here.
It is Valentine's Day. All men should stop after the CPI data, go run to the store, go grab, and I say men, women, you should be doing this too. Go get some.
So your wife doesn't mind fooling around with nurses as long as you buy her flowers for Valentine's, right?
You have some experiences with nurses as well for this year.
That is true.
That's an inside joke and face. If you listen here long enough, you'll know that Steve does flirt with all the nurses. Okay, Gregor, what do you got here? And what
You're lying.
We only have
the
like 12
nurses
minutes.
flirt with me.
We only have 12 minutes till data. So Gregor, what's up?
We all know what what Fed will do if the inflation is coming to the downside. So I think as Stelios, with Stelios we discussed earlier, we both believe that inflation will come down, but that will be more muted reaction, in my opinion, compared to if the inflation gets worse. So I think that if euro dollar would rally, the dollar will sell off. I still think that this could be a temporary move. And on the US dollar index, I still believe that we are now moving into this wave B support around 102. So I'm just aware of potential 108 resistance as well on the euro.
So, if we get, like, let's say, and this is obviously we should be talking about this. Let's say the data comes in line today, which I mean, if you're looking at the prints and you're like, okay, that's an inline print, the market might cheer that to a certain extent, and maybe we see a little bit of dollar weakness.
I think that's going to be a great opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe that's an opportunity to be long dollars down on a dip, and you get the euro maybe pushing 108, and then you can sell euros up at 108. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, that's what I want to do. That's like,
I agree. I said on the flow show, if it comes in line, for me, it's the same as if it beats to the upside, because it means that the rate of change of inflation is slowly falling. So we've gone from 9.1% to 6.5%. We've had 0.6, 0.7 increments of drops in CPI year on year. If we only drop 0.2, it might show that this trend is slowing. And man, if inflation slows and stops at a higher level, 5.5%, 5.5, 6%, the Fed needs to do a lot more.
yeah. So like, let me see if I can just pull up a chart really quick of.
Hey, Greg, any
reason
reason why cable structurally is outperforming euro? A better wave count?
I think that cable is in a triangle and consolidating for a wave 4, but euro dollar could be just making a deeper ABC. So in both cases, I think that we are in consolidation phase, but even if it's triangle on cable, still ongoing and incomplete. So
it could get down to 117, take out the prior low of 118.
118 would be my next support if we get that to that level.
All right.
So
well,
1.2 is a key support, I think.
Okay, so Greg, thank you for answering that, Dale.
What a treat for everyone. Huh?
Nice to have Greg, and nice to have the whole team here. But Greg,
nice to have Greg at your fingertips as a subscriber.
That's right. He's all 30 instruments that you see here. You just click EW, which is Elliott Wave. You can get his most recent counts and whatever he's looking at.
He's very disciplined with updating his counts too. So you're always getting fresh stuff
every day. That's right. Greg, what other besides the dollar? And Dale, you're coming up next, by the way. You're coming up next, Dale. So
okay.
Yeah, no, so you got to stand by.
I'm biting my fingernails.
No, we're biting our fingernails. What do you Greg, what else do you have aside from the dollar? Anything else that you see?
I think the dollar Mexican peso is just, this one is looking for more weakness. I'm watching this one closely, but I just don't think that I will touch it today. I think that we are headed for those to take out these pandemic lows.
Yeah. All right. So you and Stelios are in the same boat. And I would venture to guess that K-Man probably would agree with you guys too. So let's Dale, what do you think? We got 8 minutes till the data comes out. What's your best idea today? What are you going to lean into?
Well, I'm already short a little cable from here as a piece before in case it is hotter, but I did just a little bit. So I would actually rather add now on a rally in Aussie because Aussie hasn't taken out that prior high and may be more susceptible to risk off if we have a, buy the rumor, sell the fact type of thing in both the S&Ps and we don't take out 4,200 and start going south. So Aussie short 70.20 or so, wrong over the high.
All right. Now, before we get into like the things that I'm looking at, I want to ask, Ryan, K-Man, do you guys, we have UK CPI coming out tomorrow morning. How are you gonna? What are you thinking? Would you be thinking, trading the sterling ahead of that data tomorrow? And how important is it going to be?
I wouldn't be trading it ahead of it, although I am long euro sterling. I think there could be a little bit of a trade potentially because CPI is expected to drop to 10.3 from 10.5%. Not a big drop, but all we've had today and yesterday is headlines. Mobile and broadband providers hiking rates by 14, 17%. Bus drivers got an 18% pay rise after striking. And now Amazon warehouse workers are going on strike for higher wages. There's a lot of inflation in the pipe still. And a lot of inflation.
I mean, that's ugly. I don't care what anybody says. That shit's ugly right there. So, how are you going to trade it though?
I think if you get a weaker number, it's not going to last. If these wages increases start filtering through and all the rest of it, and energy prices are still a problem, inflation isn't going to go down as much as the market expects. You can see there, have we peaked? You couldn't call that a peak at the moment, could you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And I still think the BOE is going to 5%, maybe at the least now. So anything that plays into a dovish Bank of England, I think, might be the wrong side of the trade, and that may be a good opportunity to scale into pound longs if and when they have to turn more hawkish.
All right. Well, thank you on that. Really quick, we got about 5 minutes. Let me go. I had a question that came in from Chuck, asked what do I think about the Swissy. Well, I'm going to tell you, the Swissy is actually my favorite setup. Not necessarily for today, just because we're a little far away from the levels that I want. But I'm gonna tell you, this is like, if you listen to our daily broadcast that we do after this show, we do the Morning Edge, and Morning Edge has been in existence for almost 20 years in one way, shape, or form. I've been performing the Morning Edge for traders. Sometimes over the years it's been public. Right now it's a private show for our ForexAnalytix subscribers. But like I said, it's been around in one way, shape, or form for about 20 years now. So this false breakdown right here has been very key to me, and I'm looking for a move eventually above 93 cents. It's pulled back to the 618. So these are very doable level. If it wasn't CPI, I'd be getting long down here just because we're so close to a key fib level. But I do want to play it above 93 cents, meaning that I'm going to establish some longs down here, and then I'm adding aggressively above 93 cents if the dollar does indeed strengthen. If this inflation data comes in strong, that's how I'm going to be playing it over the next couple of days. I also think one of the best
divergence there, Blake. It's been diverging since November.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. This for relative strength, yeah, right there, it has been. And I think it's setting up perfectly for a move back to the 200-day moving average, right to about 96 cents. So I want to be long. I just don't want to be long right now ahead of the CPI. It's, see the data, establish, over the course of the next maybe few hours.
To go to 96 on a breakout.
Yeah,
I like it.
Above 93 cents. It's a clean breakout for me.
Can I copy you, man?
Absolutely. And don't worry, because Ryan and Michael Brown's going to copy me on the trade-off anyway. So it's all right. You guys do, go ahead, Dale.
I warned Ryan about not being a copycat. So.
I'm just kidding. There's only so many currencies for us to discuss. So I mean, there's obviously a lot of overlap. When you're looking at the, talking about the dollar, one of the pairs that's really been underperforming, especially when you're seeing dollar weakness, has been the Kiwi. And I think the Kiwi set up really nicely for a break below this channel support. We start breaking below 63 cents. If we have strong inflation data, right here is the place I want to be. Now, if the data is weak, though, I mean, there's been a lot of speculation about, the BOJ and what's happening there. But I think the dollar yen, as Ryan pointed out, there is some downside here. We cracked through, 130, 170. We should trade back to 130. And that
would mimic the dollar pattern.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might, pull the dollar index back down to flags, down here towards this. This is a breakout point right here, by the way, 102.50. 102.50 is going to be pretty key for the dollar.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're less than 2 minutes away from the news. We got data coming out. We got the whole team here. It's nice to have you guys all here. Remember, if you want to hear our whole team, make sure you are part of the ForexAnalytix community. You can try out ForexAnalytix for $1 for 10 days, but you can also go through the trader funding program, which by the way, we had a couple people access our live accounts as of last Friday that went live. So make sure you check out the trader funding program. If you want to trade our money, not risk your own money and just risk our money, you can do that. You have to go through an assessment. All right. We have the data coming out. Let me pull up one of the tools inside of ForexAnalytix is the data flash. So we'll be able to see that CPI as it's being released, but you guys will be able to see it in other places too, but this will be right on our screen. I'm going to put that off to the side while I pull up a few things. What do you guys want to look at here? I think we should be looking at yields. We got the dollar index as a whole. Where's my dollar index and where did it go?
Definitely yields.
Yeah, we'll pull up yields too. This is S&P. Here's the dollar. Now I'm gonna pull up the 10-year yield, But I want to tell you, I have the dollar, or excuse me, gold on my radar. That's on my radar on my other screen. That's one of my other screens here. But I'm going to have 10-year yields right there, and I'm going to put it in a 15-minute chart.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Here's the S&P. All right, guys.
Drum
Get ready.
roll.
Okay.
Yabba dabba do.
Oh,
Yeah, but
wow,
that-
6.4.
Woo,
It's hot.
that's some
That's it.
strong data.
That's
guys.
it.
Okay,
I don't know.
start
Wow.
buying dollars.
Uh-oh. What do you
Yeah.
do here? What do you do here on the
Shit,
strong
I-
data?
Yeah. Stay
Like-
long VIX.
You know, I mean,
And look at
I mean,
stocks. They're not doing much,
the euro
are
just
they?
popped right back up.
Give
to
it
the
some time.
50s.
Give it some time.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Wow.
what's up with this reaction here?
Give it
What?
some time.
Strong CPI.
This is
Well, the
weird.
market was
Yes,
leaning
they're
that
really
way.
not down much.
Yeah, the market wasn't. It was leaning the other way, and now we're seeing stocks really under pressure. You probably are gonna see the dollar really start to build here. You know, in some strength. You're seeing the euro. The euro's not. I would focus on probably some of these commodity currencies more so. I'm watching the Kiwi obviously very closely here. But I'm surprised the dollar isn't reacting quite what we'd be thinking. What's the reason here, guys? Stelios, what's your instant thought?
Give
I
it some
have
time.
no idea. Seriously, I don't know.
Okay, you're no good.
Wow.
Ryan?
Look at silver.
Just kidding. Just kidding. No, I'm with you, Stelios. I'm like, why aren't we seeing a bigger, stronger reaction? What are your thoughts here, Ryan, K-Man? Any ideas?
Yeah, well, the market, as you said, was maybe expecting a bit of a hotter number than what was expected. It has still dropped from last month. It's still down a pip on both the core and the headline. So inflation is still falling, just not as fast as the market was expecting. So there's not much for anyone here. You know, it's going to keep the Fed more hawkish. So we're going to see probably the dollar stay bid, but watch those yields. If they can't maintain a climb back up to you know, towards that 6.8, 6.9%. If they can't hold in the 6.7s, then it tells you we're probably priced this phase at the moment.
S&Ps
Well, you
are
know,
a beach ball.
I actually just picked up some dollar Swiss down here, personally, just because it is near a 618. I'll give it a good 20, 30 pips of leeway. I don't mind building along at these levels. But yeah, it's really surprising that we're not seeing. I mean, look at the euros at highs in the session right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's pretty crazy that we're seeing.
The earnings numbers are not all that well. They are actually a bit better. Real average earnings year on year down 1.8% versus 1.7 prior, so a bit worse. But weekly earnings year on year was down 1.5% versus down 3.1% prior. So that's fairly strong in terms of it's not as crap.
Well, let's see. You know, I want to see the cable up at this 122.60. I mean, look at the dollar. It's like weaker.
Yeah.
We got the sterling at its highs. I'm going to actually sell some up here.
Yields
So-
flat on a number like that. So even what was paying attention to the drift up in rates isn't doing that much on what everyone thought was a bad number.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my my where I want to be on the short side of this one, like right here. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to sell some sterling up at the 618 ahead of the UK inflation data. I just sold some at 62. So yeah, I mean, it's just like, wow, you know, pretty strong reaction going the opposite direction what the market would be thinking here. Now we're seeing that sterling's coming off just a little bit, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure why here it comes. It's coming down some now, but I'm not sure
gonna
why
take
we're
a
getting
stab
this
at this Aussie here, Blake.
Did you, or
Yeah.
you are?
I
Or you're already
am.
short.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I
Risking
just
the
sold the
highs.
sterling in the 60s and it's back down into the 40s now. But, you know, right up to the 618, this is by the way, this is a Gartley pattern. If you guys haven't seen it and don't understand why I'm drawing that the way it is, that's, you know, why I'm selling into it. But, yeah, that's it's just an interesting reaction. K-Man, do you have any ideas here? What are your thoughts if he's still on? I don't know if he might be.
I'm here. I just
Okay.
picked up a little dollar yen here, 131.60 on the reaction.
I
Yeah.
think that's a good trade.
I I don't see why. Yeah, perhaps just the market doing a yo-yo. Yields are actually, if I'm seeing this right, yields are coming off. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yes.
Yes.
that's a bit of a strange one as well. But if we're right there, this is a very strange reaction to me. Should just be holding up and not do too much. Is there anything in the services also we missed? I don't know.
I mean,
think
look
this
at
is an anomalous
look at
reaction.
equities.
Yeah, this is an anomalous reaction, and I don't expect it to continue for
Okay,
much longer.
so
I don't have much conviction on equities, but having to do with the dollar, I think this is a buying opportunity.
yeah,
No,
this is just what I did, and that's about it, really.
yeah, I mean the dollar max is you guys are talking about your best
Yeah,
dollar
that one.
trade is. I mean the dollar max is testing really key support following this data. Like I said, I sold some sterling up here. You know, I'm going to buy a little bit of dollar Swiss, you know, on this dip, but man, I just can't believe this is weak as it is. All right, Steve, what are you thinking here? I mean, you just said you think this is a good buying opportunity for the dollar.
I don't see any reason why the dollar is selling off at the moment, based on the data. And as I said before, I thought that no matter what happens, a pullback in the dollar is probably buying opportunity. Furthermore, so since the data actually came better for the dollar than initially expected, right?
Yeah, correct. Sorry, I clicked on mute. Yeah, very and you know the dollar is at flag support. I mean, I think we all have to respect the fact that the dollar is at flag support, and you know its previous breakout point. So, and why this has all happened, I'm really not too sure. Oh, and look at gold. I mean, even gold spiked up higher, you know, following yields, but gold still, you know, I'm still bearish. I mean, it's still a bear flag pattern. You know, we're right back up to 1870. You know, not, you know, this is probably a great opportunity to be on the short side of gold up here. Dale, you like the Aussie dollar.
The fun part is that this is the normal, this is the reaction that makes more sense, right? But as we've said before, the markets don't function like that, meaning theoretically speaking, higher inflation should be negative for a currency and quite the opposite. But for years now, the market is, we know, is trading completely opposite by thinking that worse inflation means tighter monetary policy, so we should beat up the currency, and vice versa.
So what do you do, Steve?
I insist in what I said before. I think this is probably a buying opportunity for the dollar.
Okay. Dale, you like the Aussie on the short side up here. You know, I'd be more convinced if we start, you know, breaking some of these support levels, like the Kiwi really needs to break down. I think the Kiwi is a good short, actually. I'm not shorted at the moment, but I think it's a good short. Why would you select the Aussie over the Kiwi? Just curious. Dale, is he still here? Do we lose?
He
Dale?
has to. I think he is.
Oh, maybe
Dale?
Dale may have ran to the restroom. That does happen from time to time. Grega, you're still here. What are your thoughts with this reaction? Instant reaction here.
Well, it was a perfect reaction actually on the euro. I'm looking at the 108. So I'm still a fan of the potential shorts here. I'm actually considering two entries, one here at market and one a little bit higher.
I'm sorry. I just closed the cable for 50 pips.
Yeah.
I just closed it out for 50 pip win, just to take it off my screen so I can focus elsewhere. But just FYI. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think that the euro is making a perfect rejection from that 108 level. So
Yeah.
I think that there is still a chance for shorts or dollar longs, like Steve said. I'm not sure if that will be a high. So definitely.
Great call, Steve. By the way, great call. It's we're seeing the dollar reversal come through. Go ahead, Grega.
If someone wants to maybe to look for potential euro shorts, just maybe to add the second entry or maybe split the positions a little bit higher, around to 108.50 is the next level that I would look for. So I'm looking for potential two entries. I'm just still considering it, but definitely I'm looking for a retest of 106
Test.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dale, you're good.
Now we can hear you, Dale.
Yeah, Dale, you're good.
Okay. Anyway,
All right.
I don't know what happened. It's a gaming headset, so I don't know.
Dude,
Anyway,
what do you play
You are a
do
big
do
gamer.
you play games?
no,
All the time,
it was on sale. It was on sale.
Dude,
Anyway,
look,
big deal then.
I'm gonna give you my kids' Discord handles,
All right.
and you guys can play like that shoot 'em up game. Go ahead.
What a
It'll be
great job we did prepping the community for this, even though, it didn't look like it was going to go that way. All the analysis still ended up manifesting to buy the break in the dollar, to sell the currencies. And I noticed S&P's another failed attempt at the highs at 4180. So
Yeah, I
now
mean,
yeah.
I mean
What a great job everyone did, man.
No, I think it's been good.
I'm taking
like,
some
why didn't
after
I
Ian
just
as
take
well.
70 pips off of that cable? I only took 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
what the hell?
telling you,
It's all right.
we got to promote these, big days because, I think we can help a lot of people
Yeah.
kind of navigate through this volatility. And we
Well,
just showed it.
I want to say there's nothing better in the markets than being inside of a community. This is what the ForexAnalytix community looks like. This is what people are doing. This is what people are talking about. These are the trades room where people are talking about what they're buying, what they're selling. We have a Flownomics room, which is talking about macroeconomics. These guys are way smarter than me. I just peek in there and try not to
That's
say
easy.
because, well, it's not very difficult. We got news and research room. We got an S&P and indices room where we talk about where the markets are at. Different people's got different setups, and we even have a Spanish chat room. So we got a lot of great parts of our community that's all at your fingertips. So make sure that you guys are inside the ForexAnalytix community, whether you are, and it's the most active community.
Are you guys grateful for
So-
the coverage today? If so, the way to say thank you for what we've been doing here for 6 years is to subscribe or take
There
the
you go.
trader funding program, one or the other.
Yeah,
That's the
you
only
go-
way to say thank you to us for what we give away every day.
And
Okay.
don't take it from us. You can take it from Nick here. He's been with us for like 7 years. He did a whole video post on how to pass the trader funding program. So make sure you read that blog, watch his 20-some minute video. We actually paid him out a big chunk of money at the end of last year for, because he was trading our money. So there you
Anyone
go.
taking the step today, text us. Let us know you're doing it today. Give me a Y if you're signing up today.
Did you say text us?
Well, chat. Yeah.
Okay, Dale, give your
Call
phone
into
number
our
to people
hotline.
so they can
I
text.
didn't say sext us. Steve would say sext us. I said text us.
Hey, by the way,
Send
the
us a
Sterling
text.
just had a I'm gonna go back over here. It just had a nice
Bounce.
that's a big bounce. So I'm gonna sell right into that. Sorry.
All right.
All right.
Have a
there
great
you go.
day, team.
All
I
right.
mean,
Have
what
a
else
good
can we
everybody.
say? It was more than what we could say. It's what we said and what we did. So congratulations. Hope everyone was able to catch a piece, and these guys aren't through. This is like the first lap. Okay.
Yep.
So
We'll see you on the morning edge.
yeah.
Yep.
See you later, guys. Great job,
All
team.
right, bye.
Thanks,
Cheers,
everybody.
guys.
Adios, everyone. Remember, don't just count all the pips you made this morning. Count your blessings. Adios. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dale.
Thanks, Steve.